I guess the band has changed a little bit, but it feels like an exciting time for us. You know, we feel that when we did the last Franz Ferdinand record, it was the end of a decade. It was 10 years of the band's life, and it was like a nice, like a bookend, you know, like sort of like containing everything in that past decade. Then we did the FFS record where we collaborated with Sparks, and that was really refreshing. So we'd known for a really, really long time that Nick was going to leave the band. And so it left us with the question, what do we do now? Do we move on? I don't want to live in the past, I want to step forward.
So we have two new members in the band, a guy called Julian Corrie, who was recommended to us by three friends of ours independently. And yeah, we were intrigued, you know, like, well, you know, so we sent him an email, met up with him, had a dinner with him, and invited him down to the studio where we were working to play some music and to listen to what we've been up to. And it was just kind of like it fit in very well, very quickly. We had a song we'd written, and he listened to it, and instantaneously he was like, "Oh yeah, it goes like this," and he could play it on the piano, and we joined in, and it was just immediately sounded like a band, which was great. It was a real buzz.
No, you're not that thing that you're doing. For the things that you do are not who you are. Why don't you come over?
So when we were making the record, this might come as a surprise to you, but we had this rule that there'd only be 4 people playing at once, so there'd be 4 people in the room playing, with a space for 1 overdub, as if there was 1 extra member playing. So there'd be maybe like 1 keyboard part or 1 guitar part and an extra vocal. And then when we came to tour and to play some gigs, we thought, hey, why do we find that extra person and have another person join the band? Because now, you know, there's no rules. We can do whatever we want because, you know, we're making a new band, really. And so we asked Dino Bardot. He's an old friend of ours from Glasgow, and I'd seen him play at my friend's party the year before. Last year, I saw him play. And at our friend's party, we all got together and we sang songs that he liked. So I sang "I'm on Fire" by Bruce Springsteen, and Dino got up and sang Purple Rain, the Prince song. And it's a cool song, he sang it beautifully, it was amazing. But not only did he sing it, he also played the guitar solo. And my God, you've really got to play well to play that guitar solo. And I remember just watching it thinking, Dino, you're a total rock star. Come and join the band. So he did. You know, when we were making this record, we really did have a bond with Philippe, our producer, because we shared this idea that the purpose of listening to music, the reason that we listen to music is because we want to feel something, we want to have an emotional response. Music makes you feel a particular way, it brings you up, it allows you to understand melancholia, it allows you to know what heartbreak is. And that sounds like an obvious thing to say, but sometimes when people make an album, they forget that it is all about the emotion that you want to express as an artist and the emotion that it triggers you as when you're listening to it.
There are songs like Lois Lane where the coda is sort of very bleak. It can be taken as a very bleak kind of like statement. It's like about the over 30 singles night, but at the same time, depending on your personality, I guess it could be seen as quite humorous. And I think that's kind of key to a lot of the songs. Like it's more complex than just saying, "Oh, this is a sad song." You know, hidden within them, there's kind of like moments of levity and an amusement at the situation of being a human being, you know? I think that's kind of...
It's true, because that's how we work as human beings. You very rarely in your life feel one emotion purely. There's always a mixture of emotion. Like, you know, like even when you're falling in love with somebody, you might still be heartbroken from another person, and you have this clash of emotions going on at the same time, and I think that's really what you're trying to aim to capture emotionally when you make music, is how emotions all jumble up and they're confusing, and you sense everything simultaneously. It's very hard to be a critic of your own music. Yeah. It's very hard to judge it because you're so caught up in it.
Yeah, I don't think there's. I think we spent an equal amount of time, pretty much, on all of the songs. You know, there was no song that were kind of knocked off as filler. It was all kind of, each song had our entire focus on it when we were working on it.
Another rule that Philippe had when we were working on the album was that we weren't allowed to talk about what the single was going to be.
Because it would upset the other songs.
Yes, that was the thing, like, because if that's a single, the other songs get upset, you know, like, and also there's too much pressure on the single, and we've had that before. Our last record, there was a song called Scarlet and Blue, which was going to be the worldwide mega smash, but we never recorded it because there was too much pressure on it, and we fucked it up, you know.
To quote Philippe, I piss on singles.
Always Ascending seemed like a good choice to be the single because whether it was a single or not, it's instant and it's catchy, but so are a bunch of other songs on the record. But I think there's something about the mood of that song and the title of the song which captures our attitude and what we wanted to make, and hopefully what you feel from the record, you know.
Always and always and always ascending, opening line leaves an uncertain ending. Always and always and always ascending, the chord seems too broad, but
Always Ascending isn't a conventional pop song in the sense that it's over 5 minutes long and it has these three very distinct parts. It's not like, you know, you're not straight into the chorus when you're, you know, within like 20 seconds or whatever you spoke, whatever they say. And that seemed like a bolder kind of move, and drawing a line and saying, hey, you know, this is something new, and like, and it feels like something different from.
I think as an artist you always have to look around and see what's going on amongst your contemporaries and kind of go, oh right, everybody's going this direction, I'm going this way.
we can ascend from this arrangement. We can see fate as entertainment. Bring me a cloud.
Oh, I'd love a concert without smartphones. Julian and I did a little listening session in Paris the other day, and somebody was there, so I said, oh, will you play a song? And I was like, all right, okay, we weren't planning to, we just got up and played a song, and immediately everybody brought the smartphones out, and I was like, hang on, you're the only people in this room who are going to get to see this, you know, like, why do you put that away? Because you're never again going to have the experience of looking at it with just your eyes and your ears, rather than through an LCD screen. Sometimes it's good to just enjoy the moment.
I also like the thing about smartphones is the community of fans that then you get around a tour and around live concerts, because they interact with each other on, you know, Instagram, for example, would be something that, you know, you go to a show, you document yourself at the show, you say, hey, look at my friends who you're also fans of this band in another part of the world. You live, well, I'm here tonight and I'm watching them, and everyone's, oh great, have a great show, and we're on Instagram, and we kind of take their photos and share them, and I like that community aspect of it.
It does. I mean, it's something that's always existed in gig going as well. Like I remember when I first started going to gigs, I'd search out bootlegs, like cassettes with recordings of gigs.
Yeah.
Because now you want to hear what the band's up to, what the new songs are.
And now it's super high tech and instantaneous, and you know, and I like that virtual world of fans.
Yeah.
Bring me water. Bring me water. Bring me water.
Oh, who'd we dedicate the album to?
We didn't do that, did we? We should have.
Oh, I know. It's not a person. It's a dog. It's Bob's dog Alfie.
Yeah.
Who was our companion throughout the whole process when we were making the album.
Yeah.
And he's such a good guy.
Yeah,
He's amazing.
He's good at letting you know when it's time to call it a day, or to go outside and throw a ball.
I must admit, he's not as much of a fan of the drums as we are, but yeah, he's a good guy.